All right. So this month we're going to focus on the pranamaya kosha, or our energy body. And there's this ancient Vedic story. So it's in several of the old ancient Indian writings about all of the, I can't remember exactly how they're called, but all the senses kind of having an argument. The sight, the hearing, the smelling, and the feeling, and the breathing. Right? So the prana and the seeing and all these energies were having an argument about who is the most important. And so they decided to try an experiment. And each of them would leave the body to see who was most important. So first the sight left, and the body still thrived, just blind. And then the hearing left, but the body still thrived, just deaf. It was just part of the mind. The thinking left, and the body still lived, just unconscious. And then the prana left, the breath left, and everything started to shut down. And as each of the organs of perception started realizing they were dying, they went to prana and said, come back, come back, come back. We realize that you are the most important thing. You are the thing that keeps everything working. And so it's just story is just a way to describe something that's kind of indescribable, right? Prana is just life force energy, but we get it through the breath of life, right? When Adam was created, he was given the breath of life. And our ability to breathe keeps us alive. It's also our circulation and our digestion and elimination. And all of these things are prana. And the yogis taught that we get prana through many different avenues, but our breath is the primary way that we get prana into our bodies. So we get it through breathing, we get it through the food that we eat. And so it's important that when we are eating food, we think of the life force energy that we are getting from that food, so that we're eating food that's alive. So as minimally processed and as plant-based as possible is what the yogis would say would give us and give all of our cells in our body the most life. We also get that life force energy through being out in the sun and being in nature, and through what we take in through our sensory experience. And so the things that we look at and the things that we listen to affect the quality of the energy in our body. And it's interesting because, right, like our heart beating and circulating all of the oxygen that comes in through our breath is said to be ruled by prana, but it's also really affected by what we take in our sensory experience. What we see affects the way we breathe and the way our heart beats and the amount of stress we feel. All of those things are so interrelated. So we're just going to work with breath work today as we move through our flow. And as you go through this month, I just want you to kind of have that idea of what kind of life force energy am I bringing into my body. And today we'll focus on our breath and bringing it in through our breath. But as you go through the month, like, think about the life in the food that you eat. Think about the quality of your elimination That's what really keeps clarity through your body, is being able to let go of all of the stuff you don't need. And think about what you take in with your senses and how that affects your energy levels. Let's start standing, actually, just really quick, because for Movement Lab this week I sent out a video about standing forward fold, and I just want to we'll just do a quick assessment. So just start standing with your feet a comfortable distance apart and parallel, and just check in with a forward fold just to start. And we'll return to this later. But just have your knees bent as much as they need to. Just check in with your body where you feel this, where it feels like there's effort, how far you can go, how far your hands will want to go, how much your knees need to be bent. And then let's go ahead and sit back down. We'll breathe for a few minutes sitting, and then we'll move, working on our forward folds and our breath. So just find your comfortable seat. It can be cross-legged or kneeling. You can use a prop. If you kneel, it might feel good to sit on a block and have your knees to either side of your block. Just first, we're just going to start with directing your breath. So see if you can start to let it expand 360 degrees around your rib cage. Just take one more breath where you're really expanding in all directions. Just direct your breath with your mind and think about, as you inhale, your breath coming from the base of your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, exhaling from the crown of your head down through the base of your spine. And see if you can let your breath come in a really smooth, even rhythm. So as you inhale, count to 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. And then exhale, 2, 3, 4. A slight pause at the bottom. Inhale up your spine. And pause. And exhale from the crown of your head to the base of your spine. And pause. And after breathing like this for a little while, just notice what it feels like to be in your body. Just keep that sense of breathing from the base of your spine up into the crown of your head. Exhaling from the crown of your head to the base of your spine. And bring your awareness to your feet. Just notice your feet. Feel the length of your legs. Feel your pelvis Settling into the support underneath you. And just feel the foundation of your lower body. And just the quality of the energy and the aliveness in your legs. Bring your awareness to your torso as you breathe in from the base of your spine up through the crown of your head. Feel your belly and your rib cage. Exhale all the way down to the base of your spine. So notice the quality of the energy in your belly center, in your heart center. And feel your shoulders, the length of your arms and your hands. And bring some awareness to the aliveness that you feel in your hands. Bring your awareness to your face and your head. And the strength of your neck to balance all of that. Your eyes, your ears. We'll spend a few more minutes here using ujjayi pranayama. So this is just a slight constriction in the back of your throat, so that as you inhale through your nose, you hear an ocean-like whisper, kind of like a Darth Vader. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose with that just slight constriction in the back of your throat, so you hear your breath come out. So if you can stay with that 4-count inhale, but have your ocean-like breath, your victorious breath on. Notice if this breath is warming for you, if it's settling for you. Just notice what it does, what kind of shift it creates for you in your body. And we'll keep returning to this breath throughout our practice. This inhale to 4 counts with sounds. Exhale to 4 counts with sound. And gently open your eyes. We're going to come down onto our backs. So just move away any props that you need. Come down onto your back. And keep the rhythm of that breath and let yourself hear it. And we'll just find some pelvic rocks, just a few rounds. So pushing your lower back into the floor, lifting your pubic bone and tailbone up. And then taking a breath in to lift your lower back from the floor. Lift the points of your hips up. And just move there, keeping the soundtrack of your ujjayi breath. Let's do one more. Then pause with the neutral spine. Just let your hands come by your hips. Push into your feet and lift up into your bridge. And exhale to lower. Let's do two more there. You can use your arms with it if you want. Swim your arms overhead. And exhale to lower. And just one more like that. Now next time, come on up and just pause. Keep the rhythm of your breath as you stay up and really feel like you're dragging your heels back towards your shoulders. Just engage through the backs of your legs. And then we'll release that effort. Exhale all the way down. Just turning on our hamstrings so we're ready for our forward folds. Step your feet about a footprint forward and just do two bridges there with your feet a little further away. You can swim your arms again if you want. Just lift and lower. And on the third, I want you to stay up and feel like you're dragging your heels back again. And you can keep your arms wherever you want. If you like them overhead, that's fine. You can keep them down by your hips. Just lifting up and feel like you're dragging your heels back. And then release. Hands back down. Okay, let's try one more distance. Feet a little bit further away, like one more footprint further away. And push into your feet, lift your hips. You can swim your arms if you want. If you just want to focus on the effort of your legs, that's fine. You're not going to lift up as high, but you should be able to feel this in the backs of your legs. So lift up 2 times. On the third one, just let yourself hold it for a couple of breaths. And really feel like you're dragging your heels back. Back, 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 back. And towards your bum. And then release down. Hug your knees into your chest. Might even rock a little bit from side to side. And then drop your left foot to the floor, straighten your right leg, interlace your fingers behind your right hamstring, and really push your leg into your hand into your leg. Find the natural curves of your spine. Back of your pelvis is on the floor. You have a little space under your lower back. All of your ribs are on the floor. Neck is off. Back of your head's on the floor. Let your shoulders settle down. And then maybe if you can keep those natural curves, you could reach your left leg long on the floor. See if you can draw your right leg in a little bit more. And then just bend and straighten your right leg. Just keep those fingers in your hand holding onto the back of your hamstring. And just bend and straighten this leg and see how straight you can get it. Keep those natural curves of your spine really engaged through your quad to straighten that leg. And then get straight and just find some movement of your ankle. Little circles. And if you've lost connection to your breath, just find it again. See if you can find that whisper, ocean-like sound in the back of your throat. Bend your both knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, and then we'll switch. Right foot to the floor, interlace your fingers behind your left leg. Really push your femur bone into your hands, hands into your leg. Find the natural curves of your spine. You've got a little space under your lower back of your pelvis, and your whole rib cage are on the floor. And if you can maintain that, and you can lengthen your right leg. If you notice that really push your lower back into the floor, then just keep your knee bent. More interested in having integrity through your spine than straightening that leg. And then bend and straighten your left leg. Just bend at that knee and then really push your heel toward the ceiling. And you can think of that straightening action come from pushing your femur bone away from you into your hands and reaching your heel toward the ceiling. And really engage through the front of your leg, that quadricep, as you lengthen. Right, you've got your muscles work in conjunction with each other. So as your hamstring contracts, your quadricep has the information to relax, and just the opposite. When you really engage through your quad, your hamstring will have more space to open. Lengthen up, and then just find some movement of your ankle. See if you can connect to your breath here. And both knees into your chest. And we're gonna bring our thighs, our hands to the fronts of our thighs, straighten through your arms, and then push your legs back into your hands as you push your hands into your thighs with all your might. Just push, 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 push. And this deep core engagement. So see if you can kind of let go of your rectus abdominis engagement and see if you can let this come from deep in your belly. Push. And then we'll move up into boat pose. So you can grab onto the backs of your legs or the fronts of your shins to roll up and see if you can find your balance. Maybe reach your arms, maybe reach your legs. And we'll make our way all the way to standing. You could cross your legs and use your hands to push yourself up. Maybe you start rock and roll, and so we can just come all the way to standing. Let's see if you can rock. And come on up. Find yourself in mountain pose. So this is just standing, feet parallel. And think about this breath movement here as we're standing. So draw breath in through the soles of your feet, all the way up through the crown of your head. And then think about exhaling from the crown of your head down into the soles of your feet. You can close your eyes or have them open. Find that slight constriction in the back of your throat. And we'll find a few rounds of cat and cow here. I just want you to bend into your knees. You can rest your hands on your thighs. Inhale and look forward, send your bum back. And then exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, so find the opening through your pelvis there. I want you to feel that as you're sending your sitting bones back. And kind of keep that open feeling. But as you exhale, I want you to draw your lower belly in. We'll bring our legs towards straight and fold. And just 2 more times, we'll inhale, halfway lift here. Engage through your whole back body. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, step your left foot back into a lunge. And exhale your left knee down. Have your hands on fingertips. You could bring blocks if you have your blocks here. We're just going to move through this right leg. So inhale, bend into your knee. And then exhale, bring it towards straight. You can walk your hands back as much as you need to. And just rocking. If this is hard on your grounded knee, you can always grab a blanket, a folded blanket to put under and pad your knee. Just bend and straighten through this right leg. Let's do one more bend. And then straighten, and while you're here, just have your hands framing that front leg up on blocks if you need to. Keep your foot as it is. I want you to just feel like you're swinging your hips from side to side. So kind of push your right hip to the right, and then push to the left. So your foot might windshield wiper a little bit, but I want this to come from your pelvis moving. And you'll kind of floss through all of the layers, the different ropes of your hamstring. Just back and forth a couple of times there. And then bend back into your knee. Put your hands down, lift that back knee. Inhale to table or plank. And exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Hands along the widest part of chest. Push into all 10 toes. Feel like you're dragging your hands back to lift your heart into a cobra. And then tuck your toes. Exhale. Make your way to our first downward facing dog. Big upside down V. Spread your fingers wide. And push the floor away. And then here, I just want you to find that cat and cow movement with your pelvis. So really stick your bum up and then engage through your belly and kind of tuck your pelvis under. And just notice what happens in the back of your legs as you do this, just moving through your pelvis. It's going to be small, but just feel what's happening in the back of your legs, what happens in your belly. And then just kind of find a middle place. Soften those lowest ribs in. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees and take a walk to the top of your mat. Parallel feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, right foot back into a lunge. Exhale that knee down, and then we'll just bend and straighten our left leg. So when you come forward into this bend, you can really think about opening through the hip flexor of the back leg. So you can engage through that right glute. And then feel like you're pulling your left leg straight by pulling your left outer hip back. Walk your hands back as much as you need to. And you can do this upright with hands on your knee if it's too much to be folding forward. Really listen to your lower back. Pad that right knee if you need to. And stay connected to that ujjayi breath. So hear your breath in the back of your throat. And let your movement be connected to that. So this breath-connected movement, the intention is to really move prana through your body, to help your whole body feel aligned and alive. And you do that with your awareness and with your breath. The next time you get your legs straight, we'll pause there. And then just swing your hips from side to side. Walk your hands back as much as you need to. Think about the integrity in your spine. All right, so this forward fold is coming from your hips, not from your lower back. And then stick your bum from side to side. And you can have your knee bent too. Right? Just you'll still feel that flossing through all those hamstring muscles. And then bend into your knee, plant your hands, lift that back knee, step back into your plank or your table. Lower all the way to your belly. Cobra pose. Loop your shoulders up. Reach your heart forward. Feel like you're lengthening out of your lower back, not crunching into it. And exhale. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let yourself settle, look back at your feet and see that they're parallel with each other, so your heels disappear. And then wrap your outer armpits toward the midline. So it's kind of like your elbow creases are rotating up toward the ceiling. You've got this external rotation of your upper arms, but then push into your inner palm. And that space between your index finger and thumb. And then again, find that pelvic, those pelvic rocks here in your downward facing dog. And feel what that does to the backs of your legs. When you're like flexing through your, or extending through your lower back, really sticking your bum up, you feel that more. When you're engaging through your belly and tucking your tailbone down, does that change it? And then pause, connect to that ujjayi breath. Hear that whisper. And see if you can keep that slow 4-count rhythm. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do one more lunge, salutation, inhale high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then step your left foot back into a lunge, but keep your knee lifted. You might move your right foot to the right so your balance is stable. And then just inhale yourself all the way up. Arms up alongside your ears. And then push into that left big toe ball mound. Try to straighten through that leg. Reach high. And just pause here. You can find a big twist, reach your left arm forward, your right arm back. And then maybe bend into that left knee and lean back a little bit. And get a nice big stretch through the front of that left quad. Feel strong. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame that front foot. Inhale through your plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. And this time bring your hands back by your hips. Loop your shoulders up and back. Lift your head and chest. Lift both legs. Reach. And really think about lengthening through your spine. Exhale to lower. Plant your hands. Tuck your toes. You can make your way up through table or straight up into plank. And then downward facing dog. Child's pose or table is always an option here. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale to fold. I want you to find a place where you can have integrity through your spine and you're just bending at your hips, at your hip crease here. So not rounding through your lower back. So find a place where that is. And then bring your hands to your legs, to the floor, where you can really feel like you've got a flat back. Soften your lower ribs in. And then here, in your forward fold, I want you to find that little cat and cow movement or pelvic tilts. And see if you can feel that through your tops of your hamstrings, kind of that insertion place at the tops of your hamstrings, the bottom of your glutes. And just feel that. Really engage your belly, find that support as you exhale and tuck your tailbone, point your sitting bones towards your heels. And then we'll do, point your sitting bones towards your heels and then roll yourself up to standing. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back into high lunge. So you could move that left foot to the left. And then just inhale yourself all the way up and pause. And really engage the back of that left leg. So you can feel like you're dragging that left heel back. So you're engaging the back side of that leg. And then push into your right big toe ball mound and feel like you're rotating your inner right thigh up. Soften your front lowest ribs in. And you can find your big twist. Right arm forward, left arm back. And pause there. And then maybe find a slight bend in your right knee and lean back any amount. Just feel your strength, your stability. Engage through that right glute. Clear through the front of that right hip. And then exhale, hands down. Inhale to plank. Have your knees down or up, lower all the way to your belly. This time, hands by hips or interlace fingers behind your back. Loop your shoulders off the floor. Push into your pubic bone and then lengthen your whole body. Feel like you're squeezing something between your inner thighs, pushing it toward the ceiling. Lengthen through the back of your neck. And then release. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Make your way through table or straight to plank. And then exhale. Downward facing dog or maybe here in child's pose. Remember, this is primarily a breathing practice. Let yourself feel alive, feel your heartbeat, and connect to that ujjayi breath where you're breathing in for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts. And you can hear that whisper-like sound in the back of your throat. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And stay here at your halfway lift. Find that place where you can have integrity in your spine. It's not going to be your deepest forward fold. And then just find those little rocks of your pelvis here. So hands maybe on your thighs, maybe on your shins. If you've got a block, that could be good. But just sticking your pelvis, your sitting bones back, and then tucking it under. And just feel that engagement of your hamstrings and that lengthening of your hamstrings. And then tuck your tailbone down, engage through your belly, and just let that point in your sitting bones down throw you up. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a big step back with your left foot. We'll set up for warrior 2. So your right toes are pointing to the right, and your left toes are dialing in just a little bit. Bend into that right knee, stack it over your left heel. Lift up through your left arch, and then just check yourself out. See that your shoulders are stacked over your hips. And then from there, you can reach your arms so your wrists are about over your ankles. And just settle down. And take a big breath in. We'll reverse where your left hand and your left thigh. So committed to the bend in that right knee. And then exhale into side angle pose. Right forearm on right thigh. And start here. Use some leverage into your forearm to lengthen your neck and your shoulder away from your ear. And if it feels like you can keep that space, maybe you sneak that right hand down, hold your inner ankle or fingers to the floor. We're going to keep our legs exactly as they are. Just cartwheel your left hand down and then walk your hands about 45 degrees to the left. Your hands are going to be spread about shoulder distance apart, like downward facing dog, but you've got your warrior 2 legs. Push and feel some weight on the pinky edge of that right foot. And then really push your right inner groin back as you lengthen through your spine. Soften those lowest ribs in, but let yourself feel open through your collarbones. Find some weight in that left leg. Down through your feet, and then feel. I quit. Am I back? Okay.
You're back.
Okay. It's still recording even. All right, we're in wide leg forward fold. So just find your wide leg forward fold. And then exhale your hands to your hips. Move your shoulders up and back. And then turn your left toes to the left, and we'll set up for our warrior two on the other side. So bend into that left knee. Your left heel draws a line to your right arch. Open your arms. And let yourself feel open through your hips, grounding down through your feet. And then drop your right arm, reverse your warrior. Stay committed to the bend in that front knee. And then exhale into your side angle pose. Left forearm on left thigh to start. Push into that right heel, lengthen out through your left fingertips. Left knee stacked right over your ankle, and you can stay here. You can sneak your left hand down. Maybe fingertips come all the way to the floor. Rotate your heart open. And then drop your right hand. Keep your legs as they are. Walk your hands about 45 degrees to the right. And really lengthen out through your arms. My hands aren't even in the picture. So your upper body's like a downward facing dog, but your lower body's still like a warrior two. Really push back through that inner left groin, but find some weight and the left pinky toe edge of your left foot, so your knee isn't sickling or rocking in. And then from here, keep walking your hands to the right, parallel your feet. Outer edges of your feet parallel with the short edges of your mat. Lengthen your spine. And then let yourself fold. And find that engagement of your lower belly like you would when you're tucking your pelvis under, but then find the extension through the backs of your legs like you're pushing your sitting bones apart. So it's a combination of both of those. That deep belly engagement really helps deepen your forward fold. And lift up through your kneecap. So engage your quadricep muscles. See if you can rock a little bit of weight into the balls of your feet, and then push some weight into your heels. And feel like you're spreading your feet apart. Push your inner groin back, lengthen through your heart a little more. And then exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale yourself all the way up to standing. And toe heel your feet so they come a comfortable distance apart, and take a step up to the top of your mat. Now, if you have blocks, it might be nice to have them handy, or a chair. We'll do warrior one and then a pyramid pose. So just inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then step your left foot back, setting up for warrior one. So you're gonna keep your hips square to the front. And then inhale yourself up. Reach your arms high. Push into that left heel. Bend into your right knee. And then exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades together and open through your heart. Soften those lower ribs in, engage through your belly, and fold into your humble warrior. You can rest on your right thigh, or you can bring your right shoulder down inside your right knee. And open your shoulders any amount. And then try to contain that right outer hip toward the midline as you fold here. Find that deep belly engagement to support your lower back. Release your hands and bring your hands to either side of that left foot. And then maybe step your right foot. Then maybe step your left foot in about a footprint. I'm gonna draw that right outer hip back to bring that right leg towards straight. And this may be where you need to have your hands on blocks. And like we did earlier, I just want you to kind of shift your hips from side to side here with a straight right leg. Just flossing through all of the ropes of your hamstring. So kind of pushing your right hip to the right, and then pushing your left hip to the left. And then find the neutral place, lengthen through your spine, and let yourself fold over that right leg. Any amount. Okay? And if this needs to be bent, I want you to think more of integrity through your spine and deep engagement right above your pubic bone. Okay? And pushing that right inner thigh back, left inner thigh back, lengthening through your heart. So maybe you're folding all the way over your leg, but we're more interested in the deep integrity. And we'll come into a seated twist. So bring your left knee outside your right heel. And we'll sit down. And just grab a hold of that right knee with your left arm. Push your knee into your forearm, lengthen your spine. Root down through that sitting bone. Maybe turn and look over your back. Shoulder. And then unwind yourself. Kind of uncross your legs. We're going to straighten our right leg and bring your left foot to your left inner thigh. Set up for Janu Shirshasana. So lengthen through your spine and then deep, I want you to feel this, a deep engagement through your belly. Take your inner thighs and feel like you're rotating them toward the floor and then back behind you as you lead with your heart to fold over your right leg. So you've got deep support down in the lowest part of your belly. You're lengthening out through your heart. And you're pushing your inner groin back. Your toes and your knee of that right leg point toward the ceiling. And then you can fold over this leg. You can always use a strap if you need to around your foot to help your leg get a little bit, or your arms get a little bit longer. And connect to that ujjayi breath. So with an inhale, you might back out a little bit. And then as you exhale, really fold. Inhale yourself up. Just cross your ankles. And however you want to, just come up to standing. Find your Tadasana at the top of your mat. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and we'll take our right foot back into warrior two. Move that left foot to the left a little if you want. Warrior one, sorry. And then come on up. Our hips are going to stay square as much as they can toward the front of the mat. Reach your arms high. Push into that right heel, and then draw your left outer hip back. Do bend into that left knee. Soften your lower ribs in. So if that makes your arms come a little forward, that's okay, because we don't want to have that hinge point at the base of your rib cage. Exhale and interlace your hands with the awkward thumb on top behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades together, elbows together. And then exhale, fold. You can rest on that left thigh and just work on that compression. And you can deeply engage your lower belly as you let yourself connect to that ujjayi breath with sound. You can bring that left shoulder down inside your left knee. Try to contain that left outer hip toward the midline. Let your head just be long and hang heavy. Push into your right heel. Deep core support. So we're not rigid in that support. You still have lots of freedom in your breath. And let yourself hear the soundtrack of your breath. And then release your hands to frame that left foot. Step your right foot in about a footprint. And then you can draw your left leg straight by pulling your left outer hip back. You have blocks or books or a stool or a chair. And then just swivel your hips from side to side here. Left and right. And just explore your hamstring on that left side. And it probably feels different than the right side. Go back and forth one more time. And then find a neutral place. Lengthen through your spine. Really push into that right or left big toe ball mound as you reach your heart forward. And feel like you're taking your inner thighs back. Both of your inner thighs push back. Draw in through the lowest part of your belly to fold over your leg. And just find your stretch. Your knee can be bent a little bit if it needs to be. And just let yourself fold. And hear the soundtrack of your 4-count inhale and 4-count exhale. And then we'll find our seated twist. So you'll take your right knee and just bring it to the floor outside your left heel. And then sit down. Wrap your right arm around that left knee. Push your knee into your forearm. And then rock that left sitting bone toward the floor. Maybe look over your back shoulder. And then unwind yourself and we'll stand up. We'll set up for that Janu Shirshasana on the other side. So left leg long, right foot to your left inner knee. Okay, and then find that engagement, you can find it deep, deep, deep in your belly. Lengthen through your heart and let yourself fold over that left leg. And every inhale, feel like your spine gets a little bit longer. And exhale, you might have more space to fold. You're hinging at your hip. There's not a hinge in your lower back. And so you come down to a place where you can really keep integrity in your spine. And you'll feel it, right? You just come down to your place. Just come right up against that edge and then breathe there. See if you can expand and really direct your breath. You can notice where you feel the most intense sensation. And then breathe expansion into that place. And then go ahead and come on up. And bring the soles of your feet together. And then hold on to your ankles and let your elbows come to your thighs. So that might mean that you need to lean forward just a little bit. Just lean forward to a place where your elbows can come to your inner thighs. You're reaching through your heart. So we're not trying for a complete forward fold. And I want you to push your elbows into your thighs, but push your thighs back into your elbows with all of your might. So just push thighs into elbows, elbows into thighs. And find that isometric contraction, really pushing, 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 pushing. Okay, and then keep your arms exactly where they are, Now energetically use your legs to bring your knees closer to the floor and see if you can find a gap between your thighs and your elbows. And hold that. Pull your knees toward the floor. And now let your elbows come down to meet where your thighs are. Reach your heart forward. And in this new place, push your elbows into your thighs into your elbows with all your might. Stay connected to your breath. Don't constrict your breath or clench through your face. This effort is in your legs, right? Not in your jaw or your shoulders. But push your thighs into your elbows, elbows into your thighs. Keep your arms exactly where they are. And energetically, with your knees, reach toward the floor. See if you can get a little gap between your arms and your thighs. Reach your heart forward. And then reset, bring your elbows back to your thighs a little more, reach your heart forward. And again, just find that resistance, thighs into elbows, elbows into thighs. Feel like you're sending your groin back behind you as you lengthen forward through your heart. Keep your calm breath. And then release that resistance. Pull your knees down, away from your forearms. See if you can get a little bit more space. And then come all the way up, but keep energetically pushing your knees toward the floor. Take a breath in. With an exhale, deep support through your belly. Now you can just let yourself fold and come to your edge where you can go with a flat back. And then you can just let yourself round. And let your back round and let your legs relax now. And take one more deep inhalation with sound. Long exhalation with sound. Bring yourself back up. Bring your hands outside your knees. Then lengthen both legs. Last seated forward fold. So both legs straight. And your inner legs can touch, or you can have your feet separated about sitting bone distance apart. I have lots of cushioning on my thighs, so I like my feet a little bit further apart. It's just more comfortable. Lengthen through your heart. Okay? You can bend your knees as much as you need to. We're finding that deep belly support as you come forward into your forward fold. Find a place where you can come down, lengthen your spine again. And then find your support. Exhale, maybe fold a little more. Maybe push your inner thighs toward the floor and bring your legs a little more towards straight. And then just connect with that ujjayi breath. Inhale with sound. And exhale with sound. And let each breath be a little bit of a journey. Finding some space and length with your inhale. And exhale, seeing if you have a little more room to fold. But let yourself feel that deep belly engagement from your exhale. And that deep belly engagement helps deepen your fold as you support your back. Okay, so we're hinging from our hips. There's no hinge points in your spine, but you're folding forward. There's going to be some rounding. You can't have a perfectly flat back, but that's just the energetic intention is that we're reaching our heart forward. We're not just crunching our head toward our legs. Finding length. Stay here for one more breath. And come on up. And just find a simple twist. Right hand outside left knee. Look over your left shoulder. And then other side. Left hand outside right knee. Look over your shoulder. And then soften both knees. Just hold on to the backs of your legs. Make your way all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Use your hands on your knees just to steer them in circles. One direction and then the other. And just listen to your body for any final movements that you feel would be good here. So maybe you want a bridge pose, maybe dropping knees from side to side and finding some twists would be good for you. Maybe happy baby. And happy baby is holding onto your feet with your knees bent. Just find the icing on your cake. Let yourself feel complete and then come all the way down onto your back. And when you get there, let your palms face up. And really tune into your pranamaya kosha, your energy body. Just scan yourself from your feet, up your legs, into your pelvis, your belly, your rib cage, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your face, your skull. Feel that life energy circulating through your body. And let yourself rest here for as long as you'd like. Really just kind of marinating in all that, the fruits of your practice. I think often Shavasana is the hardest pose. We have a hard time letting ourselves just do nothing. It's where discipline and integration really come into the practice. And I hope you all have a lovely day. When you come up, it might be fun to check in with your standing forward fold again and just see how it feels in your body. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste, friends. Have a good day.